Ladies and gentlemen, Six Fig Stock Trader here on YouTube, and today we're going to be taking a super high level look into CKB. Now, before we do, check me out on Twitter at Real6Fig. This is where I'm dropping charts, links to upcoming live streams and videos, things I find interesting. I do apologize, I have not been active in the comments section or on Twitter the last week, as I've been building out this YouTube set, still waiting on some artwork to arrive, but most of the hard stuff is done. So getting back to CKB, let's just glance at this thing on a daily chart, and we can see that right now we are still sitting good. And I do think that we're still sitting good up to or around this 0.016 level. Going out until maybe the end of the first week of January. As long as we don't violate this upward trend and don't produce any lows that are lower or higher than the previous lows, we are sitting good. The last thing I want to see happen here is this head and shoulders form, and then it's over with. So there is a lot to consider right now. If we go ahead and look at CKB right now, we can see that we are kind of floating or bouncing off this 200 moving average. And I am hoping that we might see some sort of, and I've mentioned this before, some sort of ascending triangle going into the new year. Maybe come March or April, we will see another impressive run-up like we saw back in January. So this would be huge to see something like this occur. Now, I do think that CKB is in this weird position simply because we could possibly argue the fact that, hey, maybe there is an ABC correction here, or maybe we are setting up for this ABCDE correction. Bear with me, Trading View is getting real buck wild right now. So it wouldn't surprise me to see price action stoop down to these 0.016-ish levels, somewhere in there, for a bounce off this trend line. This would complete an Elliott wave correction, corrective wave in the fashion of an ABCDE corrective wave. So I'm hoping that we just need the ABC, and then we can get this inverse head and shoulders pattern to play out. But we are seeing right now a symmetrical triangle squeeze with CKB, and we know this because we can draw this on the chart. So bear with me one second while I get this prepped out. And we can see that price action is potentially moving to squeeze within these trend lines here. So it wouldn't surprise me to see CKB bounce around 2 cents and down to maybe 0.019 cents. Notice how I almost said 19 cents? Wouldn't that be nice, everyone? So let's just say we see CKB come up and kind of bounce down like this. Well, this would actually be a great position for CKB to make a bid to pass through the Ichimoku cloud. And at that point, we would see this 50 moving average come down like this, and price action would be on top of the 50 moving average on the 4-hour chart. So I am thinking that right now, if we saw something like this play out, that would be ideal. But we all know that when we start seeing symmetrical triangles and stuff like that form, that's usually a good indication that the previous trend will continue. Unfortunately, let's throw up a little time sequence and see what happens. So I'm looking at this right now. This is kind of hit or miss with time sequence. So let's go ahead and just rework this a little bit. I really want to start off at this top here. Whoops, bear with me one second, folks. TradingView is being really, really slow today. I'm going to measure this immediate swing low. And this kind of looks pretty decent. If we look back in hindsight, there was a reversal here, somewhat of a reversal here to the upside. It was warning us here that, hey, stuff's about to reverse, which it did to the downside. And then we can see that this was a shift in momentum here. We had the spinning top followed by a massive drop off. So interestingly enough, we have time sequence showing up December 25th within 4 hours of 10 p.m. Central Time. I find that very interesting, to say the least. So, we might see something like this occur. Quite possibly, we might see time sequence act as a reversal point for Elliott wave theory. Something like this, or we might see the previous trend resume, and we might see price action pull a reversal, something like that. We don't know until we know, and unfortunately, for the last 6-7 days, price has been trading sideways. It is consolidating. It is squeezing together. So I do think within the next few days, we are going to be sitting pretty as far as knowing the direction CKB is going to go. So like I said, we're on a 4-hour chart, so I have to guess within 4 hours of each side of 10 p.m. Central Time, there might be some sort of reversal point. We might not know it until we look back in hindsight, a day or a week later. So hopefully it's something significant. If we see price, fall out. If we see price fall out, maybe do something like this, this may be a catch point for a reversal pattern. But we'll just have to wait and see what's going on. Let's look at the daily chart quick. That tells a big story. Right now, price action is hanging pretty far beneath the cloud. The conversion line is still kind of barreling down. So ideally, I would like to see this thing kind of straighten out a little bit more before we go ahead and really start moving. Now, one thing I just want to do is throw up time sequence on the daily chart and measure from this swing high to this swing low. Interestingly enough, when we measure this by the daily chart, it's saying that December 22nd may be a reversal point for CKB or shift in momentum. Now, there's currently 22 hours left on the daily candle, so this could really go either way. We're seeing a green spinning top right now, so that is good. Anytime we see these spinning tops, that's usually an indication that the tides are changing and the price is gearing up to go the other way. Or not, I guess. It could just continue on. So here we are, folks. This is a tough one to read. Either we're going to see this DE correction or we're going to see the inverse head and shoulders. I gave you some time frames to kind of look out for, but on the daily, if we can get a solid bounce and start working our way up here, this would be wonderful to see CKB really aim for this weak spot in the Ichimoku cloud later on, at the end of the first week of January, maybe second week of January, somewhere in there. So I do think that there's a possibility to see some 3-cent levels, by January 7th. So I hope you guys all enjoyed this video. Please smash that subscribe button. Big shout out to all the Patreons. I love all of you. And we'll see you guys all on the next video. If you're interested in becoming a Patreon, it's $3 a month. You get your name, YouTube channel name, or business name up on this banner. Hope you guys all have a wonderful day wherever you're at in the world.